the gift-giving season, and we have a gift for you. Visit us online at KBLA.store for holiday savings of 20% off all of our KBLA swag. For the best in merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store right now. And be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all our official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580, at 20% off, but only during the holiday season. Happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
All right, peace and blessings, guys. Peace and blessings, Martha Messenger. We are back on a video. A lot of people have been asking me to make a video on spirit spouses and spirit wives, spirit husbands. And at the end of this video, guys, I'm gonna give you guys solutions on how to overcome these demons, because that's exactly what it is. We gotta call it what it is. Yes, you can call it a spirit spouse, spirit husband, spirit wife, but let's just call it what it is. And it's demons, demonic spirits working against you. What do demons do, guys? What is the main thing of a demon? To distract you from your purpose on God and to make you not elevate in the kingdom of God, to have you being stuck. Instead of you leveling up in the kingdom of God, just have you stuck right here and maybe not even seeking the kingdom of God, which is one of the signs I'm gonna go over. Let's go. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Number one, okay, you can't wait to fall asleep. You can't wait to fall asleep because it's a temporary escape of your life, the miserable life that you're living. And when you're living and when you're in your dreams, you have this sense of illusion that, you know, because you have your husband, your wife in the dream, which is an incubus, a succubus, a demon, okay? And understand this, guys, that miserable life, that's a life of sin, that is a life of, where you're expecting, you can't wait to have sex with, or you can't wait to interact with your spirit wife demon, you can't wait to interact with the demon. That is miserable, guys. Okay, always understand that when you can't wait to fall asleep because you can't wait to have sex in your dreams, understand that is a sign that you have a spirit spouse. Back in the days, guys, back when I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare, didn't know anything about demons or anything like that, guys, I couldn't wait to go to sleep. I couldn't wait to, I would get mad when I'd wake up. I would get mad. I would get mad, which is number two, I believe. Oh, no, that's not the number two, but number two, let's get with number two.
For those of you who might be confused, he is defining or describing something that is called a spirit spouse. The spirit spouse is a widespread element of shamanism, distributed through all continents and at all cultural levels. Often these spirit husband and wives are seen as the primary helping spirits of the shaman who assist them in their work and help them gain power in the world of spirit. But as the brother was breaking down the incubus, the succubus, and the Lilith, a spirit spouse can fall in love with your man or woman, your husband or wife, and actively try to pull them away from you. Have you ever wondered how two people just can't make it work? How we just gonna argue and keep arguing and keep arguing? We're not gonna find no solutions, but we love each other dearly and deeply. The bond is real, but we can't find any real solutions. Intelligent, spiritually minded, but we can't seem to find a solution. And the smallest little thing, we could be arguing over a box of tricks, over a box of Captain Crunch, cereal wars. The smallest thing will set you off. Like the brother described, that spirit spout is dedicated to distracting and pulling you apart. Why? Because you're special. Why? Because they don't want another unified heart in the world that could reverberate out in. Listen, don't. Go ahead, Andy. And then I'm going back to DC. Go ahead, Andy. I saw you put it on.
I felt like you alluded to it in the last hour. And just, listening to these clips, they have a Christian-centered perspective or philosophy. I'm just curious to know, for those who don't identify as Christian, if a lot of these perspectives still, apply.
Right. Well, they do. Because Christianity ain't the oldest religion. Christianity got some roots that go way, way, way back and go back further than the European continent. Your earliest version of Christianity is found on the continent of Africa, right? We looking at Christianity, we got to go to Ethiopia first. That's if you want to start with, you understand? And then that's an outgrowth. What is that an outgrowth of? Well, in some Ethiopian manuscripts, you're going to find that the name of Jesus is called Horus. Oh, that's straight out of Egypt. Now, you want to go to Luxor, the Temple of Man. And at the Temple of Man, you will find that successive pharaohs continue to build on the Temple of Man. If you saw the temple from the sky looking down, the temple is shaped like a man. Oh, okay. Now, inside one of the temples, you will see a relief. The relief is called the theogamy scene. Well, the word theogamy is Greek. Theos is God. Theos. That's your Greek word. When you're reading your New Testament, you're going to see theos. Theos is the Greek word for God. We also get our word theater from the word theos. Don't get me started this evening. You done opened up a can of worms. Now, the theogamy scene. Agamy is marriage. Gamos. Theogamy. Marriage to God. And what you see is Osiris, Isis, and Horus, the first solar messiah, where the European Christians came in and recontextualized ancient belief systems. Don't go back to the Nicene Council. It's even older than that. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. DC, please jump in here. I'm sorry. Please get in here, brother.
Well, I mean, that's all relative, but you also, I mean, when you're looking at two relationships, but you cannot leave out eros, erotica. You cannot leave out the superego as well.
Righteous.
Because when you talk about two people who love each other, but they just can't get along. See, the thing is that, you remember that song by Teddy Pendergrass? It's so good loving somebody when somebody loves you back.
Right.
Talk about a 60-40. Hey, there's not going to be an equal partnership. Somebody's going to give a 60-70. Somebody's going to give a 20-30. And usually for my relationship, being married 36 years, it was my wife who actually loved me more than enough to keep us in the game of marriage. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about religion. 50% of marriages end up in divorce in the church. Church. 50%. When I go to a big church in Inglewood, let me tell you what I do. I listen to the word, but I also listen to how many women walk in there by themselves. All their husbands ain't at the house watching the football game. They coming to church by themselves. There's something to say about that. Relationships, man, relationships. So it boils down to, as I started, what is my modus operandi when I meet this woman, when I meet this man? What do I want to formulate? What kind of relationship I formulate? Number one, we were not taught that. I know I wasn't taught how to formulate a relationship. I was taught how to get my way in, do what I had to do, and then somehow mature and then establish this relationship, but then screw it up throughout the 36 years and finally come back and say, hey, I'm going to love my wife unconditionally. So you know what? Yes, we've got the demons out there, but also they have to do it. You got to make a decision. It boils down to making a daggum decision.
A daggum decision. I had to play this record for you, brother, because you out here killing it tonight. Hey, man, guess what you just did, man?
I brought Harbor City into the building, brother.
DC brought Harbor City in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's get Attila from Houston, Texas in the building. Let's keep it cooking. You know I'm turned up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Attila. What's on your mind tonight? You laughing at me? I love this topic so much, man. Talk to me.
It's a fire topic. Okay, so you saw my little faux pas in the DMs. What I thought you was talking about. I know it's not golf.
It's all love. Come on now. Come on.
But let me just say though. So I don't know. Just by reading it, when I think about milestones relationally, that's like kind of reminds me of like what society puts on you. Like, oh, you've been dating for a year, so you need to get married now, or you've been doing X, Y, Z, so you need to do this. Like, kind of like these arbitrary time limits that we put on ourselves in our relationships based on other people's opinions. And then when you're thinking about like trial stones, I'm thinking about the totality of the relationship, like the spiritual trials that you've had to go through within yourself, but also with your partner. And just as a side note, to speak on the whole spirit spouses, y'all, they are real. They are real. It's not just about relationships. They will derail every part of your life. It's not just about your partner. It's anything, any type of advancement or progression you try to take in your life will be thwarted because of your lust, your ego. To me, it's all about ego and fear. But that's neither here nor there. But I feel like the ways in which I've been a hindrance to myself is, again, like I told you about the worthiness wound. That's a huge one. You know, and chances are if you have it, it's reflected in your partner as well. Like, imagine two people who don't think they're enough for each other. Like, what does that look like?
Trial stone. That is a trial stone. Shadow work is going to manifest in the relationship as a trial stone. Unhealed, unacknowledged, unrequited wounds. These are trial stones. You are really nailing it down for people who are not clear. Continue.
And so essentially what I found is that in a situation like that, again, there is no progress. It's literally just like a huge boulder, right? And I think you have to each work together to kind of dismantle it. But you know, again, if you're convinced that you have no strength, you have to be rest assured that you do, because otherwise you wouldn't even be in that position to dismantle the thing that needs to be dismantled if you didn't have the strength. And I think that's the biggest trick. It's the delusion that you are not as strong as you are, but you wouldn't be faced with the obstacle if you weren't strong enough to overcome it in the first place.
That's why it's in your life.
Right.
That goes back to the point we talk about all the time on this show. If God, the universal force of all that is, the fundamental reality of all reality, the ground of reality, as theoretical physicists calls it, the ground of reality, fine-tuned the universe with the universal constants, how is it that your relationship is somehow not fine-tuned?
It definitely is. Every relationship you have is fine. Every single one, like down to the second. It's literally like, what's that movie? The Truman Show? Everything is literally like meticulously calculated to go a certain way so that you, I think, reach a certain point. And if you decide to just give up and not do the work, it doesn't matter because you're constantly moving towards that point anyway. So, you know.
Now watch this though, Attila, because you're hitting on something that's really big. Some people will push back and say, well, what about free will? Now watch this though. The universe is so fine-tuned that every choice you make creates an alternate reality. The multiverse. This is what people don't. It's fine-tuned. Whatever you decide to do, right? Whatever thought you have has a reality somewhere. Go ahead, Attila, finish.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say it also reminds me of Job, right? Where the Most High says, like, have you considered my servant Job? Like, of all people to test, right? And I'm not saying that we should compare ourselves to Job, because I mean, if you're not living righteously, it is what it is. But you understand that you're gonna come up against things. So it's always like mind-boggling when we act so shocked that we have these trials. That's what it's supposed to be. And so maybe the lesson in that is just to take the challenges in stride and not focus so much on the fact that there is a boulder there. Like, yeah, we get it. You've seen them a million times. What are you going to do about it?
Or let's focus on what's inside the boulder. Could be gold ore. Could be diamonds. Could be something precious. See,
vibranium.
Let me tell you, a blockage is not always, listen now, a blockage is not always a bad thing. Sometimes a blockage is protection, and sometimes a blockage is a task that is designed for you to figure out so you can up level spiritually. Attila.
That part.
Okay, Attila. What did you just do, sweetheart?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas, man. Texas is in the building. Zoe Williams is on fire tonight. We got two heavy hitters coming up next. You already know what it is. The phone lines are open. This is a national discussion. I want to talk to you. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we celebrate Christmas. We celebrate you. Thank you for turning us on this year. Happy holidays.
Wow! Mama's kissing Santa Claus!
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a whole lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today I spoke with Tatiana, a community manager for JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Tatiana Roberts. I am a community manager for JP Morgan Chase. I have to honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling position that I've ever had, where I get to give back to the community because I saw my mom's struggles. That's really what fuels what I do to make sure that the community has all the access to the resources that my mother didn't have.
So for the mother who's in business, what are 3 quick tips you can give to ensure that they're on the right path to accessing financial support from a bank like Chase.
Say number one, just make sure that you're checking your credit on a consistent basis and taking action to either fix your credit, maintain your credit, or rebuild your credit. The second thing would be budget. I know that B word is kind of like ugly for, right? A lot of people don't like that B word, but it has to be done. We need to tell our money where to go. The last thing is to build a network of supporters that are going to lift you up.
The community building here in Crenshaw is that network. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey. This is how you move when you skate.
Oh yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's ladies' night. Oh what a night. Oh what a night. Oh yes, it's ladies' night, and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's ladies' night. Oh what a night. Oh girls, y'all got one. A night that's special everywhere.
Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Somebody that asked me to touch on spiritual warfare in relationships. And I think that's a very great question. It's a very deep question too. Very, very deep. And something that is extremely difficult to cover. I probably should be sitting down and not covering this while I'm driving, but it's something very deep to cover. But when you think about it in a more basic sense, not going ocean deep with it, you think about spirits and spirits having dispositions. And so imagine a spirit that's raised in the ghetto. Imagine a spirit that's raised in opulence and extreme wealth, extreme privilege. Imagine a spirit that's raised in a homosexual home. Imagine a spirit that's raised in a single parent home, a single mother home, or a single father home. That's two different experiences. And when I say spirit, I don't just mean like a external spirit, like an evil spirit, that like a demon, but I mean your spirit, meaning the human spirit. As you've heard people say, we are spirits having a human experience, and whatever that means to you. But what happens in a relationship is there becomes either a battle of the spirits or a merging of the spirits. And so either way, it's a merging of the spirit. But if the spirits are at odds, so if one person comes from the bottom, the ghetto, the projects, that person could have negative feelings towards someone.
So I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. But quantum mechanics is different than Newtonian physics or Einsteinian physics. So I get what he's saying. And the reason why I say quantum mechanics is different than Newtonian physics is really simple. They're incompatible. They don't mix. And maybe he's saying the ghetto mindset doesn't mix with the higher level mind. Maybe he's saying that. But the only problem with that is the human spirit is in both ghetto and opulence. And life is going to put you on a track to evolve regardless of where you came from. So I wanted to play him and give that, that piece a little space because I wanted a different perspective. And I think he provided that for us. Tony Gaskins. One day we're going to have him on the show. He's a good dude. I like what he does. We got callers. Let's just get right to it. Reggie from Austin, Texas has been on the longest. Get in here, brother. I need to know your perspective.
Man, I have no problem with the topic and the knowledge that's been kicked. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. I think I have an issue with how it's interpreted. Dr. King said that unearned suffering is redemptive. So that means that God honors the fact that you don't turn from your principle in the midst of your suffering, in the midst of your trial. Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. But we take it to the extreme by comparing trials. And if you've gone through this trial, what is it called? Trialation?
Trial stones versus milestones.
Trial stones.
Yes.
Thank you, trial stones. You have 13 trial stones, and I have 10. And so you kept your faith through all them 13, and so that means you're more blessed than me. It's like I don't need to go through everything in order to get the point.
Keep going.
I think we have to open our eyes and say, okay, I saw what you went through. I saw how it affected you and your stance, and I can accept that and take the lesson from your trial.
Observation.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't have to go through that. I mean, I'll be damned if I have to go through trial after trial after trial, and my life is nothing but trial. Mm-hmm. That's misery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is it?
I think, yeah, it's absolute misery. If you go from one trial to the next always, if you always being disciplined so that you learn a lesson, that's misery.
Well, wait a minute. Who's doing the disciplining?
God is disciplining you.
So if you got to do it, that means you owe something to God, right?
Absolutely. But, bro, how are you always in the midst of the fire? Always? That's misery, man.
What did you do 10 lives ago?
That's another topic. I don't know, man.
Sometimes we're in spiritual debt. We got to come here and work some debt off. We spiritual sharecroppers.
So when is it ever over? I think when God comes and atones for sin and atones for the issues, that resets it, man. You done. It's over. I'm not gonna be miserable for the rest of my life. I'm gonna learn from you, and I'm gonna learn from everybody else, and open my eyes to what's the lesson being taught.
Wait, stay
with
me.
I'm not gonna feel the punishment.
Reggie, stay with me. We gotta come forward, but I need you to finish that. Lord have mercy. Reggie always cooks, man. Did you spiritual sharecropping? Guess what? You need to come back here and work off some of this debt you got when we come forward. More from Austin, Texas.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The woman behind a kidnapping hoax is proving to be one of the year's biggest Google topics. The search engine revealed this week that Carly Russell was one of its highest trending people in 2023. The 25-year-old was found guilty of 2 misdemeanor charges this fall, around 3 months after she claimed she was kidnapped in the Birmingham area. Russell, who is black, turned back up 2 days after she was taken, but the whole story ended up being fake. The FDA is approving sickle cell treatments that include CRISPR gene editing technology that could open the door for thousands of patients in the U.S. to receive a treatment that has the potential to alleviate the painful effects of the disease. The FDA approved Casgevy, which is a one-time treatment for patients 12 and over. The CDC says sickle cell disease affects about 100,000 Americans, especially Black Americans with African ancestry. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Looking for a better way to get around LA? SoCal 511 gives you real-time traffic alerts to help you find faster ways to get around LA County. It's totally free and helps motorists easily find fast track and roadside assistance services. Visit go511.com or dial 511 on your phone.
It's the gift-giving season, and we have a gift for you. Visit us online at KBLA.store for holiday savings of 20% off all of our KBLA swag. For the best in merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store right now. And be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all our official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580, at 20% off, but only during the holiday season. Happy holidays.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Today, young adults face big questions about their future. How will you make your mark? Do you want to be part of something bigger than yourself? Are you ready to learn new skills and make new friendships? Perhaps you have a dream that you're ready to make real. So, how will you make a mark with your future? As you embark on a journey toward finding these answers, the military can serve as a resource for providing help, information, and opportunities. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit today'smilitary.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Remarks by saying that David is not the preferred son of Jesse. In fact, he is an ignored son of Jesse. He is the 8th child of Jesse, his father. He does not look like his life is going anywhere. He is a shepherd boy with a destiny locked inside of him. But at this moment in his life, at the early stages in his life, he is surrounded by mediocrity. Now, mediocrity is not a bad thing. Ordinariness is not a bad thing until you have greatness inside of you. When you have greatness inside of you and you're surrounded by mediocrity, you can be tormented by what other people are satisfied with. Tormented and taunted by the fact that there is a sense, there is an inner knowing within all of us that we are people of purpose and that something is supposed to happen in our lives. The challenge is, how do we get that thing that we sense in our spirit to manifest in our life when we are constantly bombarded with adversity? David is not the preferred son of Jesse. Seemingly, when the enemy knows that God is going to use you in a mighty way, he does everything he can to upset the very genesis of your life, to kind of set you on a path of destructive behavior, to limit any self-esteem that you might have. He doesn't do that. He doesn't fight anybody that's not destined to go anywhere. But when he senses that there's greatness inside of you, the attack comes early. It comes early. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody who's had to fight all of your life. Had to struggle all of your life. You feel like Oprah on The Color Purple. I had to fight all of my life.
This happens in relationships too. Do you know that? Come on. You think, come on, the principalities, they see two good people coming together. And they put you in an awkward situation. You are influenced. The whispers in your spirit or in your spirit's ear. People don't understand this happens a lot. But all we got is blame for the person who is guilty of the infraction. That's as deep as we can go. We don't look at the spiritual influences, the generational influences. Man, let me get Reggie back in here. Reggie! Finish your thought, man. What's your final thought on this topic, good brother?
Man, there are millions of lessons to learn, and I pray that we don't have to go through a million trials to learn them.
Oh, I
That's
love
it,
you,
man.
brother. I love you. Guess
Love
what
you
you
too, fam.
just did, man?
Austin is in the building always.
Austin, Texas is in the building. We love that good brother right there. Let's keep them coming. Nikki from the SIP, you already know the legend is in the building. I'm just going to sit back and let her give us the food for thought. Here we go.
Brothers, though, and the fam, some things to consider in the food for thought. When your relationship evolves to the point where you can recognize that there is a spirit at play, that is a trial stone. It takes a minute to evolve to the place where both people in the relationship can see that there is something else at play or afoot within their ship. And when you elevate in the relationship to the point where both of you can see it, not the person, but the spirit, that's a trial stone. Because now you have walked through, swam through, crawled through enough things, circumstances, attacks of the spirit, where both of you have evolved where you can see, wait a minute, that's not him. That's a spirit showing up in him, but that's not him. Or that's not her. That's a spirit showing up in her. And I said in the chat something to consider also relative to Andy's question about maybe you don't come from a Christian perspective. Spirits are shapeshifters. You know, they'll take on the form of whatever particular religion or deity, you know, anywhere there's the positive moving toward source, anywhere there's the growth moving toward whatever source you recognize. The negative spirit shows up in whatever form is necessary to separate, kill, destroy. It doesn't matter to it as far as what background. It cares about separate, destroy, stop the forward movement, no progression, no manifestation. That's what it cares about. And so the attack comes in, you know, whatever your particular recognized theology accepts. It will take that form and show up to destroy your life or to stop the progression of bringing that thing T.D. Jakes was talking about forward. That's his point. And so where Reggie was going, well, to a degree, yes, because it is hard to practice fire prevention if you're constantly putting out fires.
Keep going.
That's extremely difficult. But I humbly submit, when we are matriculating toward a source and we're growing because we've endured enough stuff, how we put out the fires is different. We can have a small grass fire or we can have a forest fire. And if we endure together as a couple through enough things, we may have to stomp out a grass fire on a continuum, because if we're growing together, we're not going to stop having the trials. No, the spirit is going to keep coming. You know, I've said before, when we on A and B, the little evil Satan clause is on A and B. But when we on F and G, Satan clause on F and G.
Come on. Wherever you go, they go.
Same thing.
Righteous.
It's like what? They grew up. They see, that's how you tell. that's a level up experience moving towards your source. When the trials are coming on a continuum, that means, how can I put it? We should see our Satan clauses as doors, not challenges. Because to me, when Satan clause shows up and he has leveled up, that means, to me, that God has used up the resources for us in this space of our matriculation toward him. And so now all of the resources for this space have been used up. We have now matriculated to a new level, and so now a new Satan clause is coming in.
More money, more problems. More
All that.
elevation, more
All
challenges.
that.
Come
All
on.
that. All that. Like, if you have a beautiful package, a man or a woman, people sometimes forget that beauty, particularly in the beginning of our existence, was a curse. And that often happens today because you have to deal with what is attracted to you. You're not doing anything. You're not sending out a signal. You're not trying to vibrate. You hope don't nobody see that you are beautiful, and it's constantly coming, just all the time, just wide open thoughts. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing you can do will stop Satan clause coming in all the manifestations because it's attracted to this beautiful package. Well, the same thing's happening in our relationship. It's a beautiful package when we're moving together and we're evolving together and we're going towards source together. Then we get better at recognizing Satan clause when it shows up in the little red dress in the Matrix.
Oh. Nikki, don't
Come on,
hurt
man.
him. Don't hurt him, Nikki. Nikki, come on. Nikki, guess what you just did?
I brought a soup in the building. I love you.
Oh, my God. I love you, Nikki. She brought Mississippi in the building. Hey, I have to go to my city, Pasadena. When we come forward, we're going to talk to Juliet in Pasadena.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a Christmas season that is merry and bright. Happy holidays.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me.
Hello, I'm Will Jimeno. I'm a retired Port Authority police detective and a 9/11 survivor. For 13 hours, I was buried under the rubble of the World Trade Center. I was rescued thanks to brave people who were willing to put their own lives on the line to save mine. For 9/11 this year, a National Day of Service, I'll be paying it forward by taking time to help others. Please join me by doing your own good deed that day. Visit 911day.org to learn more.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Or I'll do nothing at all. Come on. I just want to be what you want me to be. One way I see what you want me to be. I just want to be what you want me to be. I get me see what you want me to be. If you want me to, I'll do it. That playlist has been on fire all night. My playlist is my co-host, the voice of reason. Tonight's topic has been, oh man, it's been groundbreaking, man. Very incredible show tonight. Trial stones versus milestones. Incredible topic. Let me get to my final caller here. Juliet from Pasadena, California. Get in here.
Hi, Zoe. How you doing tonight?
I am alive and well. How are you feeling about tonight's topic?
It's pretty good. I was listening. I think the guy was from Dallas, Texas.
Reggie.
And I was just listening to him. He was saying, you know, how much longer we have to go through, and I think all of us feel like that sometimes. But I think too. Is because in some areas of our life we start slacking. And when I say slacking, God told us to pray without ceasing. And the reason he told us to pray without ceasing, so you won't leave that crack open. Because if you praying like you're supposed to, then it gives you joy and peace and happiness. Even if adversity comes towards you, you're not worrying about it because you know God got you. And that's because you prayed up. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of us feel like that. And then we're so confined of what's going on in the world and trying to do what we have to do just to be responsible for our lives also, you know. And I think relationships, you should pray together. And I think that would even help, too, to be stronger together, you know, especially when you recognize that it's the enemy trying to come against you and trying to kill, steal, and destroy, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on what he was saying. And I noticed when I used to wake up in the morning and start getting ready for work, and I'm not going to be too long, and you know, I'll be getting ready from work. I would always put church music on, or I put Cindy Trim on. My spirit was totally different. You know, I could get through the day with happiness and joy, you know, but when you start slacking, anything could kind of tick you off, you know. So I believe God is real, and I believe what he say, pray without ceasing, because that will help you, and that will help you against the adversary so he can't get in as easy.
Oh, I love it.
But
I love
anyway.
it. Juliet, guess what you just did?
Brought Pasadena in the house.
Dina Love, you already know what it is. The Rose City in the building. This has been an amazing show, but let me hit you harder. If you are always praying for a new love because you're discontent and dissatisfied with your current love, but you have not prayed for healing for the current situation, you might be under spiritual attack. You're a runner. You run from the curriculum, the spiritual curriculum that the current relationship presented to you. You just tired of not doing the work. You're tired of it being hard. You're tired of it hurting. That's what children do. Children run towards things that glitter and feel good, things that are sweet. They don't like vegetables, so they run from the things that don't taste sweet. They run from the things that don't glitter. You see what I'm saying? And we've brought that into our spiritual and relational lives. If you pray for a new love because you're discontent with the current love, don't you know the same power that is in your discontentment can be used or transmuted into a prayer of healing that could actually elevate the relationship? See, we always want the new. We don't know how to renew. Ooh, I know people don't want to hear it. Let me tell you something. Whatever isn't healed is a potential portal for spiritual manipulation or spiritual attack. Do you understand me? The topic tonight, trial stones. Heavier than milestones. Milestones are accomplishments. Trial stones are stepping stones to self-realization, the unification with one's identity with the source of all that is. That's what a trial stone is. It is a spiritual up-leveling. It weighs more than a milestone. A milestone will be here after you gone. But a trial stone is, listen to me, it is the elevator to heaven, not the stairway to heaven. I don't want to keep going that deep. Unveiling the transformative power of overcoming challenges and embracing relationship dynamics. Tonight's topic, we try to explore the profound impact of spiritual resilience and coping with difficult times in a relationship and provide insights into practices and rituals that can enhance spiritual resilience. Additionally, we try to discuss how couples can cultivate a sense of spiritual connectedness, navigate challenges, and deepen their bonds through trials and tribulations that they face together. That's what we tried to do. We tried to talk about spiritual resilience and how it plays a role in coping with difficult times in a relationship. We talked about how it provides individual couples with inner strength, faith, and hope needed to overcome such adversities. I'm not here to tell you what the truth is. I'm not here to change your mind about nothing. I'm here to ask you the question. What is it all for then? If you just gonna pray for something new because you're tired of the old. I'm here to tell you something. Ain't no falling out of love. Love is a state of consciousness, and if you're lucky enough to experience it, you're gonna understand. Even when that relationship is over, that love is gonna persist. I know you're not ready for tonight's work, man. Listen, I started the fire. You finish it. Up next, my friend, your friend, my sister, your sister. You already know the fire will continue. It's RSVP with Jill Monroe. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper.
I want to learn how to make love. Oh, I want to learn how tonight. I need somebody